Hi students, welcome to all of you. Today we are going to see the most one important poem. Before that, the one poem of the part as a part we have seen. William Wordsworth poem we have seen before that, which was the slumber did seal my spirit slumber did my spirit seal. ये poem हमने पहले देखी थी, but now the second poem in the same part. This is the Fear No More, composed by the William Shakespeare, which is very important and very nice piece of the 16th century. What William Shakespeare is talking to us, what William Shakespeare want to tell us during this poem, that let's see this fear no more. Why the poet is telling fear no more, and whom he is telling to fear not more. Especially in 16th, 17th and 18th century, there is a beginning of the industrialization in the England, and during that they started the new moment, a new revolution started into the England, and in that England it is very important for the industrialization, the very good, because they got the market, such like India, America, and rest of the Asian countries. They got as a market, and therefore the industrialization, their revolution was improved more, and in that revolution, in that industrialization, they need more people to work, and therefore they caught the children and women, they forced women and children to work more and more hours they had to work in that. As on that basis, William Shakespeare has written this poem, which is No Fear No More. He is telling to the lads, those are working in lads, boys, those are working into the that furnace, working into the factories, women, those are working into factories. William Shakespeare is telling that fear no more. And what about he is telling about the fear, and which type of fear they had one, what he is telling. If you are not subscribed the channel, please subscribe the channel and like the video. See, the introduction is given here. There's Theresa Kane says that she liked this poem because it is so exhilarating. What exactly? It swamps along the splendid stormy words. Then there is a quite peaceful lagoon of the last two lines of each verse. It is wonderful poem and hard, proud, and fires as a rock in the storm. The poem is very important because the poem is very having the splendid words, and it is composed by the William Shakespeare. Of course, it's the greatest one. Who is William Shakespeare? Before that also you should know. William Shakespeare is the greatest dramatist of English literature from the England in 16th century. He is also one of the poets, one of the great poet, and especially the sonnet. He has developed the format of sonnet. Actually, the sonnet is the type of poem contained in 14 lines. It came to England from the Italian poet, that is Petrarch. He has composed first time. He is the inventor of the sonnet, and William Earl of Surrey and the Thomas Watt both brought this type of poem into the England, and they developed. But William Shakespeare has modified it and made the sonnet type a different one. Therefore, he is one type. Two types of sonnets are there: Petrarchan sonnet and the Elizabethan sonnet or Shakespearean sonnet. That we can see here. So come stanza first. One, he is telling in that, fear no more the heat over the sun. Fear no more about the sun. Those students, those people, those are working into the heat of the sun. Those are working on the open place. For them, he is telling that don't fear about the heat of the sun, because it is a midday time, and therefore the sun is on the head, and it is having great rays, great heat on their head. Therefore, he is telling don't be about this sun. Now the furious winter's rage. Don't furious about the winter rage also. The summer, winter, whatever the seasons are coming, they will goes away. They will also pass away. They will not be remain as same. Thou, thy worldly task has done, and you are doing your work. You do your work. Whatever the worldly task, whatever the work is given to you, whatever the task is given to you, you must complete your task. You must complete your work first. and don't be fear about them, whatever this. Home art gone, home are gone and taken thy wages. When you complete your, don't fear about the sun, don't fear about the winter, just do your work, complete your task, take your wages, salary, take your salary, take your money and go home. Don't think about such things. And second, this stanza is telling golden lads and girls all must. Now it is a second. The first stanza is talking about the labors. Second one, he is talking about the golden lads. Golden lads, the children, those are like a gold for their parents, whether they are aristocratic or whether they are poor, or the farmers or the laborers, but the children are very golden for them. As the chimney sweepers come to dust. Already I told you that small children also as working as workers, that called the child laborers. That was one tradition. Child labor was one problem in the England in that century. So those are chimney sweepers. They should come to dust. Come to dust means come outside. Fear no more the frown or the great. Whatever the problem is there upon you, don't fear about it. That great problems will not be there. You must not fear about this. It will be. Thou art past the tyrant stroke. Thou means you. You are. Art means are. You are past the tyrant stroke. And whatever the strokes are there, whatever the conditions is outside, the heat. Stroke means heat here. Whatever the heating outside is there, this will pass. Because the midday will be past, but evening will be also come, and that will be enjoyable for you. So don't take the fear about it. You must not be fear about such condition of the factories. Care no more to clothe and eat. Don't care about eating and the clothes. What you are doing, either choose a person, come to a dust means come to the play here. He is telling in the second stanza, first line, come to the dust means come to the ground and play. Don't think about your clothes and your eating, about the food. So, to thee the reed is as a oak, and you must read. Like your education is very important. Take the education, learn more and more things. The scripture, learning, physics, and you must read all the things. Whatever oak means, you have to be whatever the there. You take all the education. What is giving from this class? Now that factory schools were there, and these schools, don't think about them. You must learn from the forest. You must learn from the nature, and sculpture. What should be learned? Sculpture, learning, physics. These are the topics you must learn. You should not be like this. I'll follow this and come to the dust. You must follow all the things and come to the dust means come to the ground and play with the nature. Try to understand the nature. What is into the nature? Learn it. Fear no more the lightning flash. When you are playing on the ground, don't think about the lightning flash. Don't think about the nature's clash. Don't think about the problem. You just enjoy your life. In this way, he's talking in this poem. And last stanza, he's telling about. Nor the all dreaded thunderstorm. Those are the thunders are coming in the winters, especially in rainy season. That thunderstorm should not be think about all. They are all dreaded, and they are trying to fear you. But fear not slander, sensuous. You should not be fear about them. You must be sensual. You must be face to them. You must be ready to face. Thou hast finished joy and mourn. If you are feeling them, if you are feeling them as a fear, if you are afraid about this, definitely you will finish your joy and your mourn. And here, when you are doing the work, when you are learning something, so that time you must forget your joy also and your mourn also. This is, thou hast finished joy and mourn. It is antithesis. This is a paradoxical idea. So joy is happiness and mourn is very sadness. Both words are used here. Okay, so please, this paradox, antithesis, both are there. You must understand here. So this opposite, you are finished your joy also and mourn. So if you are dreaded about the things, all lovers young, all lovers must. Those are loving to there. All lovers and all lovers must. Those are loving to the nature. Those are loving to their job. They should all forget the things, and all should must understand these things. consign to thee and come to the dust. Consign to thee, conform with it, consign it and accept it to yourself. Love to yourself. All love must consign thee. If you lost everything, if you leave this everything and you are doing your work, then all will be love to you, love to other peoples, and love to let them love to you also. And come to the dust, come to the ground and play, joy, enjoy the life. And that is the thought is given. So in this way, the poet is telling us about the poem. Thank you for listening this one. If any problem is there in this poem, please talk to me. Yes, definitely some words are difficult there because it is a 16th century language, and therefore many students, such like a thy, thou, or the, art. These are the words. Dot. These are the words which were especially used into the 16th century. Nowadays we are not using these words. So if any doubt is there in the poem and the words and the meanings, you can share with me, you can comment me on the comment box. Thank you for all of you, and subscribe the channel. If you are not visited, still don't forget to visit my blog, that is philoindia.blogspot.com. It is inspirational for you and it will give you right strategies for the education, for the learning. Thank you, bye all of you.